everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. In today's pick a card reading, we are looking at your past life connection to your best friend. And I am intending this to be non-romantic, but if your best friend is your romantic partner, then certainly you can watch this and apply this to that relationship. That is perfectly fine. And if anyone's interested, I first became interested in past life, just kind of everything past life related, after I read Dr. Michael Newton's two books, Journey of Souls and also Destiny of Souls. Those two books were just fascinating to me. And then a long time after I read those, I was finally able to get a past life regression as well as a past life between life session. So those were both fascinating to me. And if you are interested in other past life readings, I do have Past Life with Your Person, which is romantic, and Past Life Love Story with Your Future Spouse. So those two are available for you. I will link them below in case you're interested. And once you choose your card, you will also be able to find the timestamps in the description box below. That'll take you directly to your readings. And if you ever want to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also linked in the description box below. Okay, let's get your cards. Okay, Spirit, we are looking at past life connection to your best friend. Can we have a card for pile number 1, please? Can we have a card for pile number 2, please? I feel like it's this one on the bottom. Okay, can we have a card for pile number 3, please? Okay, pile number 1, you have Plot Twist and you have Blue Aventurine. Pile number 2, you have Unfinished and you have Purple Stripe Agate. Okay, pile number 3, you have Unlikely Ally, and you have the Raw Amethyst. Okay, please take as long as you need choosing your card or cards, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, pile number 1. You have the Blue Aventurine, and your card is Plot Twist. So with this card, I feel like there's something that happened in your past life with this person that tied the two of you together for more than just that more than just the lifetime that we're looking at here. I think it's something that has kept you connected in this current life as well. Some kind of interweaving karma that you two have, like some kind of karmic ties that you two have together. It could have been like an unexpected friendship, or maybe you had to work together with this person and you didn't expect to, something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what your cards have to say about this connection that you have. Okay, let's look at your other oracle cards. Okay, what can you tell us about pile number 1's past life connection to their best friend? So we have New Beginnings. So it definitely seems like there was some kind of path that you were both on that led you to kind of like the same location. Now, with the child here, this could have something to do with a child or starting something new. Maybe you both had to work together, or maybe you kind of both were working at the same place or something like that. And maybe you were put together on a project or something like that where you had to really kind of work together on something, to start something, to get something going. And I'm getting the feeling like maybe you two didn't like each other. And then you were put in this position where you were kind of forced to work together on something. And then from there, from that point of getting to know each other and realizing that the first impression that you had of each other was not actually accurate. Okay, I'm feeling like that's where this friendship really grew. I'm feeling like maybe one person helped the other person like learn something or something like that. And with the new beginnings, I'm feeling like you started over from where you were initially. So that's what I mean, where I feel like when you first knew each other, or maybe you didn't even know each other yet, you had just seen each other in passing or something like that, and something about your energies didn't really mesh well. But then when you were forced into a situation, I'm not forced, but like if you're working together, let's say you both get a job at the same company and then you're on the same team. So yeah, you could quit. So you're not really forced to be together, but at the same time, it's like, well, I need money. So I guess I'm just going to stay and figure this out. And so I'm feeling like it was during a time like that when you actually got to know each other and realized, oh, I actually like this person and I like this person, right? So I'm feeling like there was some kind of new beginning that brought the two of you together. And that kind of changed your energy dynamic between the two of you. Okay, so we have spirit angels of the four directions. I'm feeling like this connection that you made in this past life was absolutely divinely guided. I think you had it written in your soul contract. And it'll be interesting to see if we find out why you didn't like each other at first. But I'm feeling like there was something about your connection in this past life that kind of catapulted a string of events that happened that kind of sprang from the two of you coming together and connecting and working on something together. Okay, so maybe you came up with some great idea on how to go about something or how to start something new or something like that. But yeah, I would say this is not your last past life with this person that we're currently in right now. And it's interesting that you have such this strong card here because like I said with plot twist, I feel like this connection that you made in this past life that we're looking at here is going to continue on into many, many lifetimes beyond this one that we're in right now. So very interesting. Okay, what else can you tell us for pile number 1, please? Their past life connection to their best friend. Okay, this is really interesting. So we have gratitude. This person here is actually pregnant, and then you have the baby here. So I am feeling like, oh, and then you have angel. Okay, so I'm feeling like one of you was pregnant in the past life, and I still feel like you didn't necessarily get along or necessarily like the other person until something happened. With this gratitude card and the pregnancy here with the 2 cards here, I feel like one of you is pregnant and the other one somehow helped you or helped the other person with that pregnancy. That's what I'm feeling here. And also look at how they're embracing each other here. And you have the plot twist here. So I'm feeling like, and with the angel of 4 directions, I feel like the person who was pregnant was kind of here having some kind of difficulties, maybe some kind of complication was going on in the pregnancy. Maybe this person needed to get to the hospital, and then maybe the other person was in the right place at the right time with angels of 4 directions to be there to help this other person. And that's what helped bond you. So maybe you were able to get this person to the hospital on time or somehow help them through a birth or something like that. Maybe this person had to give birth when they were outside and couldn't get to a hospital. maybe this other person was there to help that process. And that's what created this bond that we see here. So very, very interesting how your cards are all lining up. But yeah, with the pregnancy and this young child here, I think there's definitely something going on with the pregnancy. Oh my gosh, look at your card. Okay. So you have faith, but if you look at this card here, it reminds me of the Empress card in the tarot, because sometimes the Empress is pregnant, but it's a world. So you have another card here that's indicating a pregnancy. And also a card of faith, which kind of makes me think of the Angel of Four Directions, makes me think of faith, right? Because it's like an angel, believing in angels, having faith, believing in whatever your faith is, right? So, and not just that, but you see how there's kind of like this angel here with the wings, right? And then there's two people here. So, and then the person here. So I'm feeling like maybe the father of the child couldn't be there, but this extra person who would be, you know, one of you happened to be there, or maybe the husband died and this, your friend, kind of stepped in or something like that. So I definitely feel like you're connected through a birth, of a birth of a child, or helping someone through a pregnancy, and that's really what connected you. And because that's such a such an important critical time, right? Especially if you're going through through any kind of complications, right? So I feel like that's why this bond is kind of unbreakable between the two of you. So really interesting. Let's go ahead and look at your tarot cards. Okay, Spirit, what, oops, what else? Okay, that card wants to come out, even though I didn't really get to the, asking anything yet, but we're going to leave that there. We're going to look at that first. Okay. What else would you like to add? We're looking at pile number one's past life connection to their best friend. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this card first. So we have the Four of Swords, which can indicate needing to rest or taking a rest. The Four of Swords can also indicate someone being in the hospital or someone being in distress, something like that, someone in need of like medical assistance, help, something like that. So, and what's interesting is, can you see that? Okay, I think there you can see it. There's two faces up here, which is really interesting because you have the two here. So with this, I do feel like, and also there's like a panther, like a cat right here, and the birds here. There's birds all over. And remember when I said that someone might have been outside here, and then here this person's outside? I'm really feeling like something happened with the friend who is pregnant, and then the other one of you kind of coming upon this person. Maybe the person who is pregnant was having some sort of complication and fell down when they were outside, and you happened to stumble upon them or something like that, and you ended up helping, and then you ended up saving the mother's life and the child's life at the same time. And, you know, again, that's how we get this unbreakable bond here. So very interesting, and interesting that this card actually flew out of the deck as well. So this one seems to be very important to your connection. So we have the Hermit card here. Now, what I feel with the Hermit, this takes me back to when I said at first that I felt like you two didn't necessarily get along when you first met each other, like before the situation happened, or maybe you had some kind of preconceived ideas about who the other person was, and you didn't really have a connection before that. You were both kind of keeping your distance from each other, or never really had a chance to get to know each other, and that's why this connection didn't really start until this crisis that happened, right? So, And that's why we have the Hermit card here, because you were both kind of in your separate worlds until this happened, and now you're linked together. So very interesting. Okay, let's see what else we have. So we have the Eight of Pentacles here. What the Eight of Pentacles tells me in this particular reading, first of all, I feel like you've had, like I said earlier, you've had multiple lifetimes together, and I feel like there's something that goes on in each lifetime that is like helping each other out with something that's kind of a long-term situation. Excuse me. Helping each other through difficulties or through difficult times. It's possible that you have worked with this person, like at a job in multiple lifetimes, possibly even this lifetime. And it's possible that you help each other out. I feel like there's a sense of interest in what the other person does. Maybe you don't work together. Maybe you have kind of opposite careers, but you're very like interested in what this other person does and how they do it, that kind of thing. But I feel like you've put a lot of work and a lot of effort into this relationship. And I feel like it might not necessarily feel like a lot of work and a lot of effort. I'm sure sometimes it may feel like that, especially if you're helping each other through difficulties in these multiple lifetimes that you've had together. But I feel like there is a very, very strong bond and a strong sense of wanting to help each other through. I'm getting with this checkerboard down here, helping each other through like the game of life, which may sound a little, I don't know, Hallmarky, but like Hallmark card. That's like it's like a company who develops cards and who makes TV shows and stuff like that. So it could seem like it's a little mushy, but that's kind of what like the words that Spirit is telling me. Okay, so we have the King of Swords here. Yeah. So with the King of Swords, I feel like there is, with the gratitude that I see here, both of these people feel gratitude. And with all the vines growing here, I feel like with the King of Swords combined, because you have vines growing here as well, I feel like you really help each other through difficult situations. I feel like you may have different skills. Like in this past life, like you had different skills. You had, so this situation bonded you together, and maybe one of you is like a midwife or a doctor or something like that, depending on, you know, what time frame we are, what time frame we're in, and of course what gender you were back then, because, you know, back a certain time ago, if you were female, of course you weren't allowed to be a doctor, right? So depending on what time frame we are in, what gender you were in this past life would, you know, of course dictate those certain details. But I feel like this bond was created, and then you both helped each other kind of solve problems as you're going through life with the checkerboard here, because the King of Swords can talk about, you know, solving problems, coming to a point where you've resolved a chaos, right? I also feel like you really came to respect each other and kind of reverse whatever it was that you initially didn't like about each other or didn't understand about each other. So here we have the Seven of Cups. Yeah, and with the Seven of Cups, this makes a lot of sense, because it's kind of like looking at things, discovering the truth of things. And also the way that, can you see how it's like a mask is being shed, and there's transformation here with the butterfly. So it's kind of like getting to know, both of you getting to know the other person and seeing their true intentions, seeing who they really are, and letting go of disbeliefs that you had about this person, or transforming those disbeliefs into understanding of like what you perceived someone to be, and really seeing the truth of the situation. So that's very interesting. So we have the Ten of Swords here. Yeah, I think that you really helped each other through extremely difficult situations. I think that you helped each other give hope to each other, and really helped each other through darker times in your lives. And I think that that also happens in this current lifetime that you have with this person. At times when you wanted to give up in this past life, I think that the other person was there to help you, to help give you faith, and to help you see that help will arrive at sometimes the last minute. That help will arrive though. Okay, so very interesting. This connection you have together is very, very strong. Okay, so we have the Hanged Woman here. And I think that, so this is taking me back to what I was just saying. Helping each other through darker times, helping each other through stressful times, helping each other see that transformation is possible from the Ten of Swords to this place of kind of gaining enlightenment about difficult situations, and understanding that you don't have to go back to this. Like, this could be the end for you. You don't necessarily have to stay here, because the Ten of Swords indicates the end of a very difficult situation. So I feel that you helped each other gain a perspective, like helped each other slow down, because with the King of Swords, the King of Swords has slowed down. The King of Swords has worked through difficulties, is a great communicator, is a great thinker, very, very logical. And so I think that this is what you imparted in each other's lives as you went through these difficult times. And from that, it helped each of you to kind of sit and contemplate instead of panicking about situations, right? So very interesting. We have the Star card. So with the Star card, I'm just getting like, there was healing in, oh, okay. Okay, I just got something. So with the plot twist, remember I told you that at the beginning, when you first saw this person, or like before this situation happened here, I think that in a past life before this one that we're looking at, I think that you may have been like enemies or something along those lines in a past life before this one, okay? And that's why when you first saw each other in this life that we're looking at, you were kind of like, ugh, I don't know what it is, but I don't like that person and I don't want to get to know that person. But then this crisis happened and one of you helped the other person. That's the plot twist. And with the Star card, see, the Star card is what made me think of a past life before this one. The Star card is showing me a lot of healing. So I think that in this life that we're looking at here, you were able to heal any wounds, any issues of being enemies in the life previous to this one. So in this life that we're looking at, you really, really healed a lot of issues from that previous life. And it was just meant to be. It was like divinely guided that you were supposed to heal that in this lifetime here. And so because you were able to heal that, it really not only helped to heal your past life, but in this life that we're looking at, it helped to heal certain situations that you were both going through. And it really created, like it helped fill a space, like this empty space that I feel you both had in this past life, an empty space that you had in your lives. Like I said, the person who was pregnant, I feel like they might have lost their partner or their husband or, whoever it was. And I say that, remember I said that with the faith card here. And so I feel that the person who lost their husband really, really went through a lot of healing because, I don't feel like you replaced the husband, but you were there, or this other person was there during this time of tragedy, or it could have been a tragedy, this crisis, and you were able to help this person work through that. And that's where the sense of gratitude comes from. And that's also how we get the star card here. And I feel like this deep connection is only getting stronger the more lifetimes that you go through. Yeah, so here we have the Tower card. This is exactly what I was just saying. I'm telling you, I feel like the person who is pregnant lost their husband. Something happened, and then the other friend just happened to be there to help get the pregnant person to safety or help deliver the baby or something like that. And with the Tower card, yes, something was lost, but there was also something that replaced that loss, and I think that's your friendship. So, and see, there's two people falling right here, and then you have the two people here. I'm just really feeling like the father of the child was lost somehow. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. Such an interesting card. With the Seven of Pentacles, because can you see that? So this person's head is actually open, and it's like the little ballerina, like in the jewelry box when you open up the box and the ballerina is dancing. That's what we see here. So I feel like what this means, and also look at the clothing. Look at the clothing this person's wearing, which is so interesting that we're looking at a past life. Yeah, I mean, some of the clothes here, but definitely this one. Definitely, what is that, like 1800s or early 1900s? Possibly even before that, right? So, okay, so what I see with this card is a restructuring of the way that you think about somebody. Because this person almost has a look of like amazement on their face. It's kind of like, wow, I didn't expect you to be helping me, right? Which is the plot twist here. So there is a little bit of protectiveness here, kind of like, I don't know if I believe this, I don't know if I trust you. But there's also a sense of understanding that comes in with the King of Swords that leads up to a sense of gratitude. We have the High Priestess here. Yeah. With the High Priestess, I definitely feel like one of you knew something the other person did not know. One of you knew how to fix something. One of you had the key or the skills to help in this situation, this kind of crisis or emergency situation that happened up there. Yeah, very interesting. And also with the High Priestess can sometimes have kind of a closed off or kind of chilly nature about their personality. But I think that really thawed out. I think once this situation happened, you each started to see each other in a different light. The Two of Pentacles. This is a perfect card for your last card, especially in this reading. So the Two of Pentacles is when things balance out. This is two things working together in unison. Two things that may be different, but they go together very, very well. And I feel like this really summarizes the progression of your connection. Okay, where at first there wasn't a connection, even that you thought, right? But there was, because it was the lifetime before this lifetime that you had when things weren't quite meshing that well together between the two of your personalities. And so I feel like now you're inseparable. Okay. And I think that's what the plot twist is that the lifetime before this one, you didn't get along. In this lifetime, when you first saw each other, you're just like, ugh. And then some crisis happened. One of you helped the other person. And then the other one who helped the one in crisis then needed help, and the other one helped, and so on and so on. And then you continue on with this friendship throughout your additional lives together. So that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that was a fun one for you. And if you like this, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, pile number 2. You have the purple stripe agate, and your card is unfinished. So what I'm really feeling from this card is that you two were friends in this past life, and at some point in time, there was some kind of disconnect between the two of you. Maybe one of you had to move away, maybe move away with your family, or move away to take a job, or maybe move away with a romantic partner, and there was some kind of disconnect or distance between the two of you. But I'm feeling like that was, like there was a reconnection, and that whatever was unfinished was made whole, and then your connection was kind of solidified to go on to this current lifetime, maybe some in between, and possibly some after as well. So interesting. Let's go ahead and get more of your cards so that we can get a greater picture of what was going on here in this past life. Okay, Spirit, we are looking at pile number 2's past life connection to their best friend. We have family, friends, and guides. This is pretty much what I just said. Because remember I mentioned that your friend or you, whoever it was, may have had a romantic partner that took them away for, maybe they had to move away or go away for a job or something like that. But then you reconnected because you have this connection, right? So you're always going to be guided back toward each other. So this is a very interesting card here. And in family and friends, right? So I think not only were you friends, but you were also family on some level or another, which could be just, friends as family, or maybe you were connected by marriage or something like that. So, and I mean, it's possible that you were friends and family. Maybe you were siblings or something like that in your past life, and now you are friends. Okay, so that's possible. So we have intention and the honoring path. Yeah, with the honoring path, I feel like I said, one of you had to go away and do something, but you both reconnected later on somehow. So remember I said one of you may have left for a job, and that's kind of what we see here. If this person is an actor or a singer or something like that on stage, they could definitely be touring, right? And so having to leave for a little while, but coming back and reconnecting. I definitely see there was some kind of reconnection. So I'm really curious to see what was going on. Okay, what else can you tell us for pile number 2? Their past life connection to their best friend. So we have wisdom, and here we have the world. See, I'm getting a sense of travel, and from that travel, gaining a sense of who this person is, right? Whoever was traveling, they're traveling, they're exploring the world, they're exploring themselves, they're figuring out who they are. But if you see these here, there's still a connection with these two beings here. And I'm getting spirit here, which we have here, the spirit card here, family, friends, and guides. It's almost like spirit guides guiding you back together. So very interesting. It's like with the honoring path, it's like one of you saying, well, I have to honor my instincts. I have to honor this path that I'm supposed to be going on. I have to honor this journey. And maybe one of you didn't understand it at first, but then you got an understanding of why this person had to go their separate ways for a period of time. We have rejection. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Okay, this is making more and more sense as we go along. And this card wanted to come out also, so I'm going to take that one as well. I feel like when the one person left, the other person felt a sense of rejection, like, how could you leave me here? But then it all kind of made sense when the person who stayed was able to see how successful the other person became. Like, it all kind of made sense. Or maybe one person was accepted, because here we have a painter and here we have like an actor, an actress, something like that. So maybe you were both in the arts, the creative field, something like that, or a creative field. And maybe one of you was accepted somewhere and the other one wasn't. And so there was a sense of rejection, kind of feeling like, oh, well, excuse me, I don't know how I feel about the situation or my friend anymore. And so that I feel like that's where this disconnect could have been. Yeah. And then we have mysticism. So with mysticism, I feel like there was a time of trying to figure out, do I still want this person in my life? I'm not sure. Like there's a sense of trying to figure things out. And I feel also that the person who stayed, that person was trying to figure out who they are and where they fit in the world. And does this person still fit in their life? And so I feel like the person who stayed was trying to find their missing piece in their life because they saw how fulfilled the other person was. And so they were trying to, in a sense, do what the person who left did. So very interesting. And I feel like along that path, when the person who stayed was able to figure out, okay, this is what I want to do with my own life, I feel like that's where the connection came back together, because the family, friends here, because there's like this kind of unbreakable bond between the two of you, but it has gone through its ups and downs in this lifetime that we're looking at here. So let's look at your tarot cards now. What else can you tell us for pile number 2? Pile number 2's past life with their best friend. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So we have the 5 of Pentacles. This is feeling like you're being left out in the cold. Feeling like rejected. Feeling like you don't know where your path is. But the thing is that the answer that you're looking for is literally right here. You just can't see it. So I'm feeling like the person who stayed was feeling rejected. They were feeling, see, look at these two figures here, how they're so similar. And so remember with the mysticism card, I said the person who stayed was trying to figure out who they are and what their purpose is in life. That's what I see here. The person who stayed was trying to find their missing piece. And also felt like the other person left them and kind of left their friendship unfinished. But again, remember I saw a reconnection that happens somewhere in here. So yeah, and this is exactly what I see here. This is a reconnection. So the 2 of Cups, although it does look a little romantic here, I don't see romance with you and your friend in this past life. I feel like this is symbolic of a reconnection of your friendship. This could also indicate that the person who left did find a romantic partner along the way, which further made the other person who stayed feel like they were even more rejected, like they've been replaced, even though there wasn't any romance between the two of you. So this can also symbolize that the person who left really found their true calling in life, and which could mean that the person who stayed was feeling like, oh, well, what's my true calling, right? Because I have two cards here where that other person's trying to figure that out. And I feel like once the person who stayed figures that out, that's when your paths cross again. So we have the King of Swords, yeah. So it's like figuring out what it is that you want to do, figuring out what your true path is. Oh, and I'm also feeling like this could be, okay, maybe that's what it is, that the person who stayed, the Five of Pentacles, finally found their calling too. They finally figured it out. Everything made sense. They worked through that chaos and everything started to make sense. And then at that point, they were no longer feeling this sense of rejection. They gained the sense of wisdom, and they started to understand why the other person had to leave and go pursue their goals or their dreams. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. I feel with the Knight of Pentacles, this is movement toward reconnection. This is a deeper sense of understanding of the different paths that people take in life, understanding the goals that people have, and understanding the ways to achieve those goals, and understanding a sense of dedication to a goal, and really starting to work through feelings of rejection and feelings of being left behind. Here we have the Two of Swords. And with the Two of Swords, I'm feeling like there was some kind of delay. There was the sense of someone moving on and someone else being in the same position. But the point is that the person who stayed, it wasn't their time yet. So there was this delay. There was a learning period. There was a time of growth that needed to happen. And I feel like once things shifted for this person who stayed, I feel like they had really, really incredible growth, like self-growth in this past life, to understand kind of their own path in this life. And I'm feeling like a sense of wanting to reconnect with the other person, kind of calling a truce if there was an argument or a break in the friendship at some point. I feel like there was a need or a want to reconnect. Yeah, here we have the Star card. So the Star card talks about, dreams coming true. This can be a healing card where you can heal things that were damaged. And so I feel like when the person who stayed, when they started pursuing their own goals and started feeling successful in their own right, they wanted a reconnection with this other person because they felt like something was missing from their life. Okay, they started pursuing things on their own. They got over this feeling of rejection and the mysticism, like they figured things out, and this person is now successful. But they miss their family, their friends, and they want this connection to come back. So here we have the Ace of Cups, which is really interesting because this is like a safe space. This is positivity. This could definitely indicate a reconnection of a friendship. moving forward with something that has great promise. Could be definitely healing here as well. Kind of like a path forward toward reconciliation. Okay. So that's really interesting. And then we have the Ace of Swords. So with the Ace of Swords, this could indicate new communication. This could indicate starting things over, starting things new, things coming to light, things making sense, having a greater understanding. Like this new idea that you have to move forward with something is showing great promise. And we have the Knight of Wands. With the Knight of Wands, I'm feeling like this is where the reconnection happened. A sense of, oh, you know what? I feel like you two ended up working together at some point. Because this is a very creative card. And I feel like there's, like I said, a lot of creativity with the both of you in this past life. And at some point, it kind of, the fact that you were both kind of on the same path in this past life was good because you understood like that creativity that you both have, like being an artist and understanding that kind of the way that that type of person thinks. But I think at the same time, it kind of, you grew apart a little bit at some point because one of you was accepted into something and the other one was rejected. However, I feel like at some point you two were brought back together to work together on some kind of project. Because I say that because here we have the Two of Swords, where this can indicate figuring something out. And like there was a delay for a period of time, but with the Star card, whatever was delayed here is now free. Like the movement is free now. And like I said, there's healing here in this card. Well, then we have the Ace of Cups and Ace of Swords. So this is like a new opportunity for two people. And then the Knight of Swords is a very creative card. So I'm feeling like this was a new opportunity for both of you to come together and do something creative together. And reconnecting your friendship and your bond, and kind of moving forward past whatever this kind of hiccup was here in your relationship when things weren't working that well. We have the Six of Pentacles. This is so interesting because the Six of Pentacles is all about balance. Okay, this is about things kind of coming together, helping someone. It can also have something to do with work, definitely with work, finding a balance again. Especially in this card, it could be like a sense of gratitude, a sense of helping someone in need. So I'm feeling like this coming together on this one idea. I feel like the person who initially left had more experience with this particular thing that you were going to be going into, and was then able to help the other person kind of merge their life into this creative world that they were in, that the other person wanted to be in as well. And I feel like that really helped to mend the relationship and help to heal anything, any kind of resentment that the person who was rejected initially may have felt. And I'm feeling like there was a resolution and a rebalancing of the friendship that happened here. And then we have the Two of Wands here. So with the Two of Wands, I'm feeling like it's like, okay, now what? Now what? Making a decision on how you want to move forward with this friendship. Do you want to pursue this idea together? Is there room for both of you on this path, right? Is there a way that you can both move forward and work together? Okay, so trying to figure things out here. And then, I mean, look at this, the Ace of Wands. So remember I told you there was a reconnection of your friendship? And that's what I'm seeing here with the Ace of Wands. You have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. So it's like this reconnecting of an idea. Because remember I said it was unfinished and that there was some kind of separation, but then you come back together. And that's exactly what I see here. So on this bottom row, it's really interesting because I feel like once the Two of Swords was resolved and we get to the Star card, that's where we have that sense of reconnection, that sense of healing, of friendship. And then the Ace of Cups is, you know, let's explore our feelings. Let's talk about our feelings. Like, how can we resolve our differences that we had up here? So there's a lot of healing of that resentment, that rejection. There's a lot of moving forward. There's a lot of balance that comes in with the Six of Pentacles. Realizing that now you're both kind of on the same page. And then with the Two of Wands, figuring out how you want to move forward. With the Ace of Wands, I'm feeling like this reconnecting had something to do with your work, that had something to do with the creative field. And I feel like you found a way to work together moving forward. And I feel like there was such a sense of healing and a sense of gratitude, a sense of connection between the two of you. And it's possible that you're both in some sort of creative field in this current lifetime as well, because I feel like there's something creative that's still connecting the two of you together in this current lifetime. I'm feeling like that, like maybe you met in art school, or if you're like graphic designers, maybe you work at the same company, or you have some sort of interest. Maybe one of you is a painter, something like that. I'm feeling like there's still a creative energy in this current lifetime. And that's kind of how your friendship kind of evolved in this current lifetime. But with the Ace of Swords, so especially with all of these aces that you have here, I feel like whatever was unfinished here was definitely fixed, it was healed and completed. And that's why your friendship is continuing on in this current lifetime. So yeah, so very interesting. I hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked in the description box below. Thank you so much. Hello, pile number 3. You have the raw amethyst, and your card is Unlikely Ally. So with Unlikely Ally, I feel like at some point during your past life with your best friend, you two connected in an unlikely way. I think one of you may have helped the other person, or you may have joined forces to overcome something, or to accomplish something, or to get out of a situation that you were in, something like that. So yeah, it's really interesting. I'm getting a lot of energies here. Kind of like a complicated relationship that may have been going on, kind of like in the beginning of your relationship, but then it smooths out toward the end of that relationship in this life, because obviously you're still friends in this current lifetime. So yeah, very interesting. Let's get some more information for you. Okay, what else can you tell us for pile number 3, please? We're looking at their past life connection to their best friend. So we have great achievement. Yeah, remember when I said that you came together to achieve something? And I think it was kind of an unlikely pairing, but the two of you just happened to work very well together. So it could be that you have a lot of differences, but maybe you were put together maybe you work together and you are put together on a team. And when you first saw each other, you were kind of like, well, why are we working together? But then it just kind of worked out, right? It's kind of like a third party could have seen something between the two of you, like a dynamic between the two of you, that the two of you together would be able to accomplish more than one of you or both of you on your own, something like that. So very interesting. But yeah, whatever it is, I feel like you had some kind of great achievement together. So it'll be interesting to see what this achievement was. Okay, I'm feeling like this card needs to come out. Look at kindred partnership. So interesting, because I'm feeling like you were I'm feeling like you were very like an unlikely ally, but I feel like, remember when I said with the great achievement card that somebody else, like a third party, saw how well you could work together, and it was a partnership. And now this card has more of a romantic inclination, like just looking at the card, but I feel like I don't feel like this was romantic. I feel like you were working on something together, and I feel kindred partnership in your case is more talking about like a friendship, when you meet those friends, and once you get to know each other, you feel like you've known them forever and you feel like you're going to be friends forever. So I'm feeling like this is more indicative of a celebration, some great achievement that you two had together. So that's what I see so far. Let's look at your other oracle cards. Okay, what else can you tell us for pile number 3? Pile number 3's past life connection with their best friend. So we have discovery. Yeah, you know what this makes me think of? This makes me think of an unlikely ally. Discovering your friendship, discovering how well you can work together, discovering like a lot of growth between the two of you, and all brought together by a third party is what I'm seeing back here. I'm feeling like this is the third party that brought you two together, and it's kind of like, oh, like being surprised, like, oh, we actually can work together. We actually can make some sort of great accomplishment together with this flower here. So whatever it was that you did together, you definitely achieved something pretty big, something possibly unexpected, not realizing that you could do that together. So we have guilt. Oh, interesting. I feel with guilt that guilt's an unlikely ally. There could have been guilt to the way that you originally felt about each other. Maybe you originally said, oh, I don't want to work with that person. Or maybe there were socioeconomic differences between the two of you, and you felt like you didn't understand, like, why would I work with somebody like that? Like if you were looking down on somebody, or if you were looking up to somebody saying, well, why would I work with somebody like that? Like, I'm not on their same level. Okay, something like that. And I feel like with guilt, I feel like this is something that was healed throughout your friendship. And this really shows like unlikely ally, because these two people seem to be disconnected somehow. But with discovery, they somehow discover that they have a lot more in common than they have differences, right? So very interesting. And, that again shows unlikely ally, where it's an unlikely partnership, something that you didn't think would really work in this past lifetime, but it worked so well, better than you ever could have imagined. Okay. What else do you want to tell us for pile number 3? We're looking at pile number 3's past life connection to their best friend. We have the World card. So I feel with the World card, this was you going into a new phase, like a new partnership together, starting something new together. And then having this great achievement together and realizing, wow, we really can work together and we really accomplished more than we could have accomplished separately. And then kind of starting this new friendship from that point in time. Yeah, exactly. So you have the death card here. So it's like closing one door and opening another door. So closing that unlikely ally and moving into this kindred partnership, like understanding each other, letting go of any guilt that either one of you or both of you may have had about your preconceived notions of the other person before you got to know them, letting go of all of those negative feelings, and really feeling like this is a kindred soul. This is someone who's going to be in your life forever, someone who you can trust. Okay, because I feel like you didn't trust this person or they didn't trust you. Something about trust I'm getting in the beginning, and that's why you were unlikely allies. But I think that whatever great accomplishment you accomplished here, I feel like that's what kind of solidified your friendship. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I think once you realized how well you two can work together and how well balanced you are, kind of like you balance each other out, because I do see there's some differences here, but I think that one of you can provide something the other person doesn't have or they didn't think about, and the other person was finally accepting of that. And then it was like a slower process in the beginning, but I think once you saw the synergy between the two of you and how you can work together, I think that you wanted to continue this type of like working relationship that went from a working relationship into a friendship. So we have the Three of Swords. And with the Three of Swords and discovery, guilt. You also have journal here. So I feel that this card is connected to the way that you used to feel about each other and feeling guilty about how you used to feel about each other. But I feel like the feeling was kind of mutual, so it kind of cancels each other out. Okay, so I think it was like neither one of you really liked each other. And so it's okay that you both had negative feelings about each other, and there's really no need to dwell on the past is what I'm feeling here with the Three of Swords. So I'm getting a movement away from these negative feelings that we see in the Three of Swords. And we have the Empress, yeah. And so with the Empress, there's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of comfort. With the Empress card, I feel like you realized that working together, you will accomplish so much more. You will be able to grow so much more, and increase your finances, increase your comfort level in your lives. And I feel that from this point, when you saw this great achievement here, I feel like somehow that's when you started something new with the World card here, like going into a new phase of your friendship, going into a new phase of your careers together. And I feel like you came up with some kind of idea to start something new together, which is so interesting considering where you started in the beginning. And then we have the Five of Cups here. So with the Five of Cups, I feel like there may have been a time when something was lost, okay? Something to do with this great achievement that you had here. Maybe you thought that particular thing was going to continue on, or maybe it came to an end, and then you are feeling like, okay, well, now what? But instead of focusing on what is now over, with the 2 cups here, I feel like this really solidified your bond together, saying, okay, well, this project that we were working on is now over. Now what? And instead of going your separate ways, I feel like you really look toward each other in trying to figure out how you can kind of start your own thing. Maybe you started your own business together or whatever it is. I feel like you tried to figure out how can our skills in our great achievement that we made here, how can we build that on our own? And I really think that you kind of started your own project or your own business or something like that, because with the Empress here and also the World, it's like you're going into a new phase. You're about to start something new. Something ended so that something new could begin. 2 things coming together. So, yeah, I think that you started something pretty big together. Let's see what we have here. The 10 of Swords. Yeah, there was a lot of worry about, oh, what are we going to do next? How are we going to move forward? You know, what are we going to do? And I feel like one of you had an idea, kind of like you said, okay, hold on a minute. Let me go test some things out and let's see if we can move forward with this. Because I feel like there was a solution to getting out of the situation, and the solution had something to do with never coming back to this type of situation, never being in this stressful situation, never having to worry about picking up the pieces again. And I think it's because you started your own thing. Because here you had this great achievement, but somehow it was kind of out of your control. But here you're going to be in control. And so I think that both of you going through this sense of being out of control and then bonding over that and then working with each other to extract yourself from that situation that ended, I think that's what really solidified your friendship. We have the Emperor. Yeah, you two were definitely developing something together, a plan forward. And I think that you really took your time developing this. I think that you were both very interested in whatever this was that you were pursuing. You were both very determined. There was a sense of nurturing this idea, laying out the plans, seeing how it's going to work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of communication, working on things together, developing plans, seeing what would work, seeing what wouldn't work. And throughout this whole process, I just see that your bond is growing and growing and growing, just as this new idea or this new company project, whatever it is that you were working on, was also growing and growing. And here we have the 7 of Wands. So I feel like throughout this process that you two went through, you faced quite a few challenges. But the important thing is that you never gave up, and you never gave up on each other, because I feel like you were each going through individual challenges on your own, and then you were going through challenges within this partnership that you had together. But I feel like you were both able to utilize your own individual skills to tackle different problems. So you had a certain set of skills and this other person had a certain set of skills, and it was kind of like divide and conquer. So you were able to tackle certain things that your friend wasn't able to necessarily tackle as quickly as you were, and vice versa. And I think that this partnership that you had together was really building something quite significant. So like you two really accomplished something quite significant in this past life together. We have the Ace of Cups here. Yeah, so it's like whatever was lost here with the 5 of Cups, you soon realized that you could replace it and make it even better. And I think that's why we have so much excitement that we see here with the World card. It's kind of like, oh, okay, well, I'm just on to bigger and better things. And so it really opened up a new pathway for both of you to move forward. And it also helped you to see that your friendship was like a safe space, that you were on the same page, that you're working together, that this new idea that you have is going to be fruitful, and that you will no longer and will never go back to this point here. And I think there was also kind of an amazement throughout all of this that, wow, we really are working together pretty well. Okay. And then we have the Six of Wands. Yeah, see, this is the success card. Remember I said you're never going to go back to this point here, the Ten of Swords, which is when it seemed like things weren't going to work out. But that was coming to an end. And then you're moving into, because of this new idea that you had together, you're moving into great success. People were wanting to celebrate your success, celebrating the fact that you had this great achievement before, and then you had some kind of disruption that happened, but you were both able to work your way back up, back into success here, which is really interesting. Okay. And then we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so I feel like from this one great success, then you were both feeling very confident in moving forward with this new idea that you had together. So, moving forward with ideas, I feel like you also balanced each other out in the sense of one of you may have been moving quicker and the other one was able to slow down a little bit. And so that kind of balanced out to create a more moderate approach to things so that you can figure out things as you go along, okay? So that you can avoid any kind of pitfalls that you may have seen here. And I feel like in this current lifetime that you're in, like right now, I feel like somehow you might balance each other out, kind of on a lot of different levels. I feel like one of you may be sometimes needed to be brought down a little bit and say, hey, wait a minute, think about this before you do that. And then the other person may be more, maybe a little more structured, and the other person can say, hey, like, don't worry about things so much, just follow your dreams, that kind of thing. So I feel like that really carried over from this lifetime into the current lifetime that we're in, where you really help to balance each other out. You really help to cheer each other on in your own individual success. And I feel like for some of you in this current lifetime, you may be working on something together. And then for those of you that aren't, where you're on your own separate paths, I feel like there's really a great support that you have for each other. And yeah, just really balancing each other out. When one person's down, you really lift the other person up. And I feel like those things don't happen together in this current lifetime. I feel like in this last lifetime, you were both down on your luck at the same time. But I feel like in this current lifetime, it's different. Like one of you may have a dip in your life and the other one is more level, so that you can help lift this other person back up. And then when this person is having some kind of issue in their life, I feel like the other person can help lift you up. So does that make sense? Okay, so that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a private reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching.